What up, everyone? Phil the Kaiju King back. My kaiju friends and fans, let's split out of here on another video. Another X Plus to the old collection. This is a recollection for me. I originally had the Rick edition of this several years ago. This is the reissue that hit Hobby Search a few months ago. Just got out. It's already been sold out on Hobby Search, unfortunately. But it's an awesome figure. I think whatever year came out, it was probably figure of the year for X Plus, I want to say, because it is a really outstanding figure. This is the Godzilla 2002 Attack and Defense in the Storm. It says on Hobby Search. Right there. Down here, it says, from the Soft Final Series, Sakai Yuji Sculpting Collection, sculpted and supervised by Yuji Sakai. Godzilla 2002 from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, released in 2002, is being re-released. I think it meant the movie released in 2002 because this figure came out like in 4 or 5 years ago. The image depicts Godzilla in the storm that unfolds during the fierce battle with the Japan Self-Defense Forces at the beginning of the film. It has a dynamic sculpture of a powerful monster with its tail raised, ready to greet the enemy before it. His cast prototype was converted into wax and a master mold was created. The products are made using materials molded solely from the master mold, minimizing wear and tear caused by turning them into soft vinyl and focusing on reproducing detail as much as possible. The painting was supervised by Mr. Ito and was reproduced using techniques that are effective when made into soft vinyl. This product uses the same mold as the Toho 30cm series Yuji Sakai Sculpture Collection Godzilla 2002 Battle in the Storm, released in 2019. So it is the same one. It's a reissue. It's a re-release. This is, I think this Rick was light up pins, I want to say. So this is a reissue standard, basically. And it depicts the beginning of the film, very awesome, when he comes up out of the ocean. The reporter's reporting on the storm, I think, and he comes up behind him, and then he starts rampaging and he fights the military. This is the depiction of that scene of Godzilla, and it looks very good. This is the exact figure, looks exactly like the one I have, minus the Rick option. It's really cool, good movie, great movie. Godzilla, of course, versus Mechagodzilla, or AKA as they call him, Kiryu, in the film. Pretty awesome. That, I've said this previous, that Mechagodzilla really depicts and reminds me of the Showa era Mechagodzilla more than any other version that we've had. It's really cool looking Godzilla, or Mechagodzilla in my opinion, compared with the original. This figure's pretty cool. The movie's really excellent. Nice epic kaiju fights in that film, in my opinion. Of course, Mechagodzilla goes haywire berserk, and because they built it with original Godzilla's bones. I already told this story in the Gigantic film the other day with the Gigantic series that came out. But it's a pretty good movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely give it a chance. It's worth the time. Take a quick look at this fella. Of course, we can't do nothing without a tail stand nowadays. Seems like tail stands are more prevalent than ever before, even on non-Sakai figures. It's getting pretty prevalent in my opinion. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I deal with them. Of course, the paint app is a dark, almost very dark grayish black color. Really, it's really dark. I don't know if that's darker than the original Sakai or not. Here's where the tail connected, of course. Looks good though. Sections of the tail look good. Tree bark style skin. He has several types of skin on him here. Of course, you got your dorsal plates. Start pretty much all the way almost at the tip of the tail and go up onto the back there. Nice gray tones with the dorsal plates on the back. Pretty much darker paint app on the skin here. There's the feet with the toenails. Legs and thighs look good. Godzilla knee pads, Godzilla knee pads. You see the sculpting of the skin, nice rich texture there. as the original Sakai was. Midsection, upper chest here, hand claws, all yellowish color there, like the toenails. Get up to his neck with that almost king cobra like fanned out neck section there. Of course, like I said, different textures of skin running up the side of the either side of the dorsal plate. Very spiky, rough looking skin right here and up here on the arm and shoulders as well, and up on the neck. Much more rougher skin up here on the upper body than the lower body, in my opinion. Of course, the face, really a very pretty accurate depiction of Godzilla 2002 for my money. Got that slight snarl going on there, but it looks better than the 25 centimeter figure, in my opinion. Eyes are white with a black and almost yellowish pupil there. Teeth in the mouth are individually sculpted. The mouth pretty much all the way closed. Looks very fierce on all angles. This Godzilla does. We'll do some comparisons here with him, and let's move on to that now. Alright everybody, as I said, here's the 2002 Godzilla 25 centimeter by xplus, which is almost as tall there, within what, an inch to 3/4 of an inch is tall. Sakai's are always smaller. I think with this one is when they started getting a little bit bigger though. This was definitely one of the bigger Sakais when it came out, for sure, I think. We'll do some more comparisons. Let's move on to that now. Alright, so here's the kaiju series, or 25 centimeter Kiryu. And he is a little bit taller than, he almost goes good with this Godzilla, really. And he's supposed to be 25 centimeter. He actually don't look, that's the first time I paired them up. They actually look kind of cool together, in my opinion. Alright, we'll do a couple more comparisons. Let's do that now. Alright, here's the 25 centimeter Yuji Sakai Millennium Concept Godzilla. Alright, let's keep some comparisons rolling. Let's do that now. Alright y'all, here's the original 2003 30 centimeter xplus Godzilla 2003 with the big scar on his chest from the battle from 2002. I wish they'd visit this guy again, because this figure's aged pretty well. But I think the mouth and the head could be a little bit better, and the teeth especially. They're not quite as detailed as some of the newer stuff. Alright, we'll do one final comparison here. Let's do that now. Alright everybody, here's my 3D printed Heisei Godzilla. I'll get the camera up a little bit there. Commissioned that off of Etsy. That basically is the Godzilla that's on the mural in the Toho building in Japan. One of their buildings. If you remember seeing that picture of that mural on the building, it's this image, pretty much. Alright, I'll move on to some final thoughts. Let's do that now. Alright everyone, I'm back. xplus 30 centimeter Yuji Sakai Godzilla 2002 standard re-released on Hobby Search. It's pretty cool they re-released this, because I had to sell my Sakai last year when I was off on that medical issue. So I needed the funds. You gotta do what you gotta do, but I'm glad this got reissued. I wish they'd reissue some more. Some of the 62s and such would be nice. Some Showa stuff. Alright everybody, close out this video. I want to thank everyone who tunes in. This is Phil the Kaiju King. Y'all have a blessed day. We'll talk again soon.